Hi, and welcome to Cultivate CFO. Today I'd like to share with you why I see that ignorance and avoidance is the worst tax planning strategy. This is a common story that we run into with clients and with people calling into our company, is that they're looking to avoid the complexities of taxes. They want to just hand things over and hope for the best, but we find that usually doesn't end well. I want to challenge you today to engage and educate yourself and learn how to build your wealth through tax planning. I'm putting this video together today during some busy days and long nights of tax season, but it's becoming a recurring theme in my conversations with clients. They're struggling in gathering their tax information, and as we review and prepare their returns, we're discovering gaps in their current year's data or in their previous year's filings with their old accountant, and we look to give them this choice. Do you want to invest in delving deeper to solve these issues, or do you want to proceed with the information as is and go ahead and file? The reality is most people opt for the latter. I understand the thinking. We don't want to do the work. It's a headache. It's annoying. We just want to get it done. Right? More complexity is going to result in higher tax preparation fees. Can't we just get it done, send it off? If we ignore it and avoid it, maybe it'll just go away. But the reality is this comes at a significant cost. When they receive the final return and then the tax bill, they've already resigned themselves to pay it, regardless of what it is. I've had multiple phone calls shortly after we've delivered the tax returns with clients who are just blown away by their tax bill. Why? They just wanted to get it filed. They didn't want the underlying details to get ironed out, and they didn't realize the implications of their decisions and of the information they presented, and they just hoped that it would turn out okay. This attitude I've described kind of as a black box of taxes. I've come to term this thinking like black box thinking. See, for many, taxes are like a black box, like the World War II Enigma machine, the inner workings of which are just impossible for them to figure out. The outcomes are always going to be unpredictable. Clients hand over all of their numbers, they hold their breath, and they hope they're going to get lucky this year. And the process to them feels more like a gamble, that they're going to push the button and that will decide the fate of their finances and whether they can go on a vacation this year. Right? Is it going to be a refund, or are they going to get a huge tax bill? Right? It could go either way for them. But one thing is for sure, they don't know why, and they don't know what they can do about it. You see, this frustration is mirrored on this side of the table as well while we're trying to prepare the tax returns. See, we try and eliminate the tax implications of the decisions beforehand, but eyes end up glazing over. We offer a comprehensive tax planning ahead of time or implementing certain strategies when filing the tax returns, but we often get declined. I feel like I've heard it all at this point. It's too confusing, it's too complicated. I'll just pay the tax and move on. I don't think it'll be that bad. I'll just hope for the best. This kind of fatalistic head in the sand approach to taxes really isn't helping anyone. The client is paying more in taxes than they should, and the tax accountant becomes nothing more than the middleman between the client and the IRS agent. And we're simply delivering bad news. But what I found, this approach is really the norm for the tax industry. And it really shouldn't be that way. And that's why, for me, I've looked for a better way. I don't really enjoy being the middleman between the client and the IRS agent. Not fun, right? So for me, I'm aiming at doing things differently. We made a policy this last year not to bring on any more tax clients who did not also want to do tax planning. First, because the old way is simply crowded. Any old tax accountant can plug in numbers on forms and tell you the bad news. But second, I love the challenge. It takes creativity and design, planning and expertise, right? It takes a deep understanding of taxes and of a client's goals and financial situation, and some ingenious problem solving to reframe that financial situation and implement tax strategies that are going to open up wealth building opportunities for business owners and investors. The next thing that I see is really the best part. The government ends up being the one footing the bill. See, my fees are a fraction of the savings, so everyone walks away happy. Fourth, this is big impact work. We're regularly saving between $25,000 and up into the millions in taxes, and that moves the needle for most in a really big way. And then finally, I don't have to have any of these conversations with my clients anymore where they're devastated by their tax liability. They've planned out ahead of time. They know what decisions they can make to reduce their tax liability, and they know what tax liability they're willing to pay to do what they want to do with their money. Instead, I end up getting thank you emails and excited discussions about the future of their wealth building projects. I've got a couple of takeaways I want you to take from this video. The annual journey through tax season shouldn't be one of passive resignation, but active engagement in your wealth building. I want you to consider these principles. Don't disengage and opt for the simplest path forward. See, taxes are complicated and details are important, but it's not impossible to learn enough to make a big difference in your tax liability. Second, I want you to find a good tax accountant who will have real tax planning discussions with you. Not just planning to pay your huge liability, but finding real strategies that will reduce your liability and build your wealth. Third, I want you to ask questions. Ask about the implications of your financial decisions and options to reduce your liability. Ask why, and then why again and again until you get the answer that you understand and a tax bill that you're going to be happy with. The final step to building wealth is keeping the money that you've earned. So if you engage and are proactive with your taxes, you will put money in your pocket each tax season, and you'll lay the groundwork for yourself for the stewardship and the growth of your wealth and building a secure future for you and your family. Whether you figure this out this tax season or commit to this going forward, I want you to refuse to accept that taxes are something that you can't avoid. So I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. How have you dealt with these complex tax issues that you don't understand? What has tax planning done for you in building your wealth? I'd love to hear more in the comments below. And if you'd like to, head over to my Substack channel to learn more, build wealth, and save on taxes.